Hi, everybody. So, after reading about racial identity development, I was better able to understand myself and some of the things that I was already doing. Prior to this course, about a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, I began looking into different DNA packages. So, ancestry DNA, let's be specific, packages so I can find out where my ancestors are from. Obviously, I'm African American, but I wanted to know more about the African piece of my history and where specifically in Africa my ancestors are from so that I can learn more about the different traditions and share that knowledge with my son and potentially incorporate some of those traditions into my family. As a child, I was told by other kids really that were either lighter than me or of a different race than me that my dark skin was ugly, that my dark skin looked like poop. So my mom and my aunts all would always tell me the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. So really what that meant for me was the blacker you are, the sweeter you are. Don't worry about what anyone else has to say. Keep moving, keep your head up, keep your chin up, and do you really. I myself have never experienced institutional racism. What I understand institutional racism to be is racism that is a part of the structure and day to day operations of an organization, different cultures, and society as a whole, really. I believe that I've never experienced this because of the type of work that I have chosen to do. I don't think that this is a privilege that has protected me from institutional racism because social work at its core is a profession that is welcoming for all. And the social service agencies that I have worked for and my current employer mirror the social work ethics and values and really respect of everybody and treating everybody with kindness. So, although I have never experienced institutional racism, I remember a time where I had a conversation with one of my friends when I was pregnant. We were talking about what my husband and I were going to name my son. At the time, we already had a first name picked out, and we were trying to decide what his middle name would be. So my friend and I were speaking about the different options that we had, and she shared some concerns that she had with some of the middle name options in combination with his first name and what it might look like in the future. I honestly was annoyed when we were having the conversation because I didn't understand really where she was coming from. And I honestly don't know if at the time I wanted to understand where she was coming from. But now sitting back and thinking about it, I understand now when I see that she was trying to help me really protect him and his future because she didn't want him to be discriminated against based solely off of his name and be overlooked, even though he may have a master's or a PhD or whatever it may be, 15 years experience, but have a name that is too ethnic, and just be overlooked because of that. I understand it now, but at the time I didn't understand it, and I didn't like the conversation that we were having. If a person experiences institutional racism in early adulthood, I believe they may begin to withdraw or develop feelings of mistrust with either an organization or with society. Typically in early adulthood, this is the time when we may be graduating with either a 2 year degree or a 4 year degree, and we're ready to get out there and start working. And if someone is experiencing institutional racism at such a vulnerable time, they're getting denied time after time after time. They may begin to develop self-doubt and think that it's them and they're the problem, that they need to do better or be better, when really it's not them and it has nothing to do with any of their accomplishments or what they bring to the table, but everything to do with institutional racism. So when we're applying the critical race theory, Based off the article, the critical race theory opportunities for application in social work practice and policy, and action that I can take is to be aware of the colorblind approaches, practices, and policies that are in place, and challenge the statement that we hear often is, I don't see color. That statement in and of itself only perpetuates some of the inequalities that people of color face on a daily basis, and sometimes multiple times a day. So just being willing and able to have courageous conversations surrounding that topic. Thanks, guys. Bye.